What's up? I'm DJ Spryte, and welcome to Behind the File. We're at Anonymous Studios in Burbank, California to bring you my new series, Behind the File. I want to pull back the curtain on all your favorite bootlegs, remixes, mashups, and even original production to show you how it was made, speak to the people who made them, and even give you the project so you can check them out for yourself. Let's take a look. Absolutely. With each show, we're going to be speaking with different DJs and producers and giving away the projects of the tracks we just talked about. This way, it lets everyone from beginner to more advanced DJ producer see exactly how the track was made and hopefully learn something in the process. So after my battle years, I started messing with production a little bit on the side. Around the same time, I moved to Los Angeles, California, and the mashup trend was in full swing. I did a couple for fun and sent them to my boy Scissorhands out in New York. He was doing this site called Crooklyn Clan at the time, and he put me on. He threw me in this section of the site called the West Coast Killers, which had at the time all the big West Coast guys. It was the Holla Boys, Vice and Echo, AM, Homicide, Kevin Scott. Pretty much by doing that, it introduced me to those guys, and Kevin Scott and I became close friends, and he let me do Friday nights with him at LAX, which was like the hottest club at the time. It was an AM spot, and that's pretty much what catapulted me into traveling as a DJ. Absolutely. With how competitive today's market is, you have to do something to stand out. And being a club DJ, most of us have to play a lot of the same music. So how do you stand out from the guy from last week? And that's by making edits, remixes, bootlegs, Frankenstein edits, anything you can to play the same music in a different way. Pretty much anything that you hear me play, I've touched, chopped up, or done something to make it my own. And it's been a huge part of the way that my live set and how I market myself. The Frankenstein edit, it was something I came up with just kind of randomly. I would get so many remixes of a single song, and I would like a certain part of each one of them, and I would just chop them together. Like, here's the intro of one, the verse of another, the build of another, and the drop of another, and I would just chop them together and use little rise and fills between them to kind of fill in the space. But I didn't know what to call it. It's not a short edit, it's not a bootleg, it's not a mashup, it's not a remix. So I was like, I'm kind of just Frankensteining all these pieces together, and I just labeled it Frankenstein Edit and shipped it out. And now I guess it caught on, and I see Frankenstein Edit kind of everywhere. So for the first episode, I wanted to give you guys 3 projects of files I recently put out. One of them's a mashup, one of them's a party break, and the last one is an unofficial remix of the track Panda. Let's check it out. So the first project in the pack is a mashup I did called Alone Tonight. It's pretty straightforward. It's the vocal from One Republic's I Lose Myself and the beat from Marshmello's Alone. When you open the project up, you'll see it's split up into a couple groups. Vocals, here's the main vocal line from I Lose Myself. Here's little ad-libs and stuff I pulled from the acapella to kind of fill in space for the builds. You can go through all that when you open it up. Track is the Marshmello track, just chopped up to fit the acapella better and kind of make it a whole song. Reformatted the track. There was some vocals in the original Alone, so I kind of pulled those out, just chopped around it, and you can check that out. Effects, these are your friend. This is all your rises and builds, which are bridge, edits, and they also build energy and release energy. It's all your, I can't play the audio on it, but check it out for yourself, and let's move on to the next project. So the second project in the pack is called the Turn Break. It's a 100 BPM party break that I made to kind of play in between songs to kind of hype people up at the club. It's formatted very similar to the first project with the groups. The first one here is vocals. This is all hype, like Fat Man Scoop, Little John, Put Your Hands Up, little vocals I have kind of throughout the break. The second category is tracks, which in this one we cycle through 3 different 100 BPM tracks. I believe it's Swang by Doze, Turn Down for What remix, and Blow Up Young Ollie remix. It kind of just changes 3 points within the track to different beats to kind of just keep it different and keep it changing. Extra sounds here is just some ear candy up front. Right here is a section of claps. I have Fat Man Scoop chanting, can I get a soul clap? So what I did is I did some layered claps, and if you notice up here, there's a sidechain category, which when these snares hit, it kind of ducks everything down so those claps kind of come through clear. You can check out how it's all built and put together when you open the project. Effects here, same as the first one. We have a couple sirens, but mostly all your rise, falls, impacts, just to build energy, release energy, cover up edits. So like I said, your friend when it comes to all the effects. So open it up and check it out. And all these projects, by the way, should be able to open. I went through a lot of them and replaced a lot of the plugins with Ableton Native. And on the next project, there was some more advanced stuff, so I froze that so you can see. But hopefully everyone should be able to see all these and open everything fine. So let's move on to project 3. All right, so the final project in the pack is a bootleg remix I did of Designer's Panda. This one has a little bit more to it because it's more of a remix, but it's still laid out kind of like the first two. I have a vocals category here where I chopped up the vocal throughout. Actually, for this one, since it's a bootleg remix, the verses I kind of kept the same from the actual Panda track, so that's here on this channel. Everything else is what I chopped up for the builds and drops. Got a layered kick, a drums category because I did redo the drums for the drops on this track, so you can check all that out. Leads and soft synths. This is pretty much all for like the drops and builds. I do have a lead that kind of goes throughout. I also left some MIDI in here. I had to go back through and switch out a lot of the plugins, the third-party plugins for Ableton Native instruments, just so like everybody can open it. But I did freeze a couple things so you can kind of see what I used originally. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be glad to let you know what I originally used. And also, bear in mind, I'm still learning all the time, so don't skewer me if I use something improperly. A lot of this stuff I do usually do with third-party plugins, but I try to like replicate it as best as possible with the Ableton instruments. Last category is effects here. Same thing, rise, falls, impacts, all that kind of good stuff to kind of bridge all the little edits. Got a couple side chain channels up top here. You can, go through the different channels, see how I used it. I think one's for like a kick, one's for a snare. I don't know what the third one's for, I forgot, but you can check it out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Download these, check them out. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up on my personal social media pages or leave it in the comments. All right. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to download the projects pack so you can check out everything for yourself. Also, leave a comment. Let us know anybody that you want to see in an upcoming episode, producer, DJ, or any of your favorite edits, and we'll try to feature them. Huge shout out to Direct Music Service, DMS, for hosting the show. Also here at Anonymous Studios LA, anonymousstudiosla.com. If you want to get your production skills up, make sure you check them out. And yeah, I got to get back to making some music, so I'll see you next time.